morning. Happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tea and Coffee with Paula and
Jay. Now we got it. Now we got it. Good morning, everybody. And I know you can hear us for several reasons. There's no rain.
Yes, no rain today, clear skies, not warm temperatures, but we're going to have some nice sun today. So yay.
What happened to the summer?
July was fantastic. June was pretty good. August has been wet.
Wet and cold.
Yeah, a bit chilly.
Yeah, one of our friends, what's her name now? Savage on X. Yeah, she's like, what happened to the summer? It's cold. I got to turn my furnace on.
Yeah.
Well, again, sorry for the audio issues yesterday. They were so bad that I couldn't clean them up after the fact either. That's the thing about some of this enhancement stuff is when you run it through a filter, it sounded like I was intoxicated. I wasn't, but the words were not coming out. That's how bad it was. We've taken some steps to improve that for you all. We booked an order. So on Monday, we're going to put insulation in and get that part done. And I also improved the software for the audio of things. So even if we have something happen, possibly Friday, we're expected rain. So tomorrow, we may have some more improvement on our end. So thank you for bearing with us yesterday. I know it was brutal. I listened to the replay. At least it wasn't noisy for them. It just kept dropping our audio down.
The
and
audio
down.
kept going down and down.
Yeah. Because I guess the computer or our hardware here was trying to numb out and null out the sound. But good. We're good now.
Yes, and Miles, no rain today. No rain today. Like I said, we've got the sun's coming out. No rain.
Yeah, no, we should be very, very good. And I'm excited about today because, there's a few things going on. Our guest, we'll get into that in a second, our guest for today. Heading into Edmonton for the Alberta Next panel. So I'll be part of the media table for that one. This is Danielle Smith's little panel, town halls, conversations, get yelled at, whatever they're called. Yep. So I'll be there in Edmonton. So if you are in the Edmonton area or you want to make the drive, go and we'll be there. But I know the tickets were going quick. So it should be very full, which is good because I want to experience it in real life, what it's like. When it comes to rebroadcasting it or streaming from there, we are not allowed, even media, to do any video or pictures. They will provide a stream for us, but I don't know if we're allowed to restream it at the event. We might be able to restream it after the event. I'll get those details as we get more set up.
Great.
But I'll be heading to Edmonton today, so I'm excited about that.
Cool. I got a farm day with the kids, so I'm going to be learning lots about pigs, horses, chickens, and just general farm life. And yeah, looking forward to that. It's our camp day. We're one of the many projects, or I should say activities offered by Breton FCSS, a great organization that's throughout the summer, winter, days off. They're always organizing events and activities for the local kids to attend. So great resource to the community.
We have a great community, don't we?
We do. I love Breton. I really do.
Awesome.
I love where we live. I love Breton. I love our neighbors, love our community, our church community. Great people. I really am lucky. We really are lucky where we live.
I like it too. And we bought this land undeveloped, sight unseen. We picked it from Ontario on Terrible as we were making our escape. What were some of the things you were looking for when you moved?
Trees. land and trees, because there's many plots available where it was just flat, nothing, just flat, cleared completely. And I was like, because again, the goal is for us to build a house. And I was like, I'm imagining coming out of our house and it's like, oh, there's binoculars, oh, there's a neighbor, hi, but like there's nothing around us. I like to walk, I like to hike, I want the kids to roam and explore and climb over trees, climb up trees. So trees was a big thing.
And you also had 3 more requirements: within 10 minutes of milk and bread, within 30 minutes from a major store like Walmart, and then within an hour or so of a hospital, a major hospital, like for the kids.
Exactly.
The kids' hospital. And that's exactly where you put us.
My goodness, we were so fortunate, fortunate.
Drayton Valley is 30 and Edmonton's about an hour.
Yeah, for us, there's a particular hospital we go to, the Children's, the Stollery Children's Hospital. Shout out to them in Edmonton. They're fantastic because they're one of the few hospitals in the country that have a Down syndrome clinic. And for those who know us, our youngest has Down syndrome. Little man is going to be 9 in October. Touch wood. He's absolutely healthy, but every now and again we need to go in for a checkup, and it's very two things. It's very stress-free that it's nearby, and he gets compared to his peers, and not typical kids, because that's something you want to track with your child's development if they have any particular issues. So these are people that are experienced in dealing with children, young adults with Down syndrome. So it's been fantastic, and they're a great clinic. Love them. Good people.
Plus, the community is pretty cool. I like them.
Yeah, community's very cool.
And our neighbors. What was the first question we got asked by our neighbor? We won't out
Yeah,
him, but
love him.
we pulled up and had our car, and we couldn't pull into a driveway. There
Yeah.
was no driveway. There was a mud path that took us into the property,
Mhm.
and we met our neighbor right away.
Yeah, he was driving a tractor. His lovely wife was in the ATV, but pulls up as we're getting ready to leave because we're walking up the driveway to the car, and so, "Oh, you're the new neighbors? Yeah, yeah. You're not liberals, are you?" I was like, "No, sir, we're not." I love it.
We fell in love with him right away. Like we're home. This
Yeah.
is where we belong.
And good people. Yeah, good people.
And they've been amazing. If we need anything, snow, searching for anybody, they're there for us.
Yeah, searching for anyone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
good
Jacob
people.
decided he learned how to climb our gate one day, so we had to go find him. He was upset the neighbors, but yeah, we just put the little call out and everybody showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, great community. And speaking of community, we're going to get into some of the posts from yesterday, because yesterday was pretty active on X. So let me get into some of this with you, because yeah, our community, I'm going to show you how great it is. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and follow us on X. I'm Jason Levine AB, and then Paula is Team Paj, PAJ for Paula and Jay.
Mhm.
You'll find us there and give us a follow. But one of the first things that came out, or one of the last things, sorry, that came out was Tim Houston, the Premier of Nova Scotia. He's now changed his tone from, okay, we got to be careful here, because there's multiple provinces giving their reasons for the ban in the woods. There's people saying, hey, they're trying to do some mining and they're trying to cover it up, and there's all these other reasons, which might be valid. I'm not going to take a position, yes or no, on that. But the first one from Tim Houston was to prevent forest fires. So people felt like, what do you mean? Hikers with their shoes can make a fire? How's that possible? And then another province gave their excuse, and that was, if you break a leg, we won't be able to come get you. Now we have a third one, folks. The third one is Tim Houston himself has said that it is to prevent you from dying in a fire. So he's no longer saying you'll start the fire. Who started the fire? But now to prevent you from dying in a fire. And I guess clearly Tim's office doesn't watch our show, because we had Peter McIsaac on our show. And one of the things he said so clearly was that, I'll let him speak for himself here, was that this has never been a concern here, or not here, but in Nova Scotia. Let me just play this little clip for you.
Because I've been on probably IC here in Nova Scotia on over 100 fires, and I've fought fires out west. And I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to this. And I'm probably the worst nightmare of the Premier of Nova Scotia right now, who's having nightmares, by the way, over potential fires. He says he can't sleep. He's under massive stress, worrying about homes being burnt down and charred bodies being pulled out of the wreckage. And yet we haven't lost a single person to a forest fire in the history of Nova Scotia. Actually, Jason, we've had more people in Nova Scotia killed by coyotes than by forest fires, just to kind of put things in perspective.
So yeah, Tim needs to follow Jason Levine AB because it made him save him some embarrassment, because he did a press conference saying the complete opposite. He's worried about people dying in fires, and he even painted this picture like, just imagine you're surrounded by fire. Well, it's never happened in Nova Scotia, in the history of Nova Scotia. And another thing to pull out of that little clip there from Peter is he's done about 100 fires. He's managed about 100 fires, which means it's roughly 3.5 fires a year during his 30-year career that there's forest fires. So it's not like this is new, something that doesn't happen. It's always happened. Nature needs to clear itself out. Fires in the forest are not something to be afraid of. Animals know how to deal with it. Some trees have to have a fire in order to reproduce. Nature has been doing its thing for a long time before Tim Houston came in power. So he got a bit of a gotcha there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think another thing that Peter said when he was on the show, check out episode 4 if you didn't, because that's where he talks about it. He thinks there might be some PTSD with Tim Houston because he's having nightmares. He is overreacting, and this is from 2023 when he was premier during some of the fires there. Maybe because if you listen to Tim's video, there's a couple times where he starts to choke up. Like he's very emotionally, I think, overwhelmed. So there may be some trauma there, some post-traumatic stress disorder there, because he is overreacting. But in either case, every time they change and pivot, there's another response to that. So I'm looking forward to the 4th reason, because this one's not going to work.
Right.
Nobody's ever. It's tough to die in a fire, forest fire. You can smell it, you can see it way before it comes to get you. And how would it engulf you? That's not how forest fires works. They don't get you from every angle unless you happen to be the unlucky soul that's right in the middle of it.
It's feeding paranoia. It's scare tactics.
Yeah. And when you hear about a death in a firefighter, it's usually a forest firefighter who loses their lives, and that's unfortunate. But Nova Scotia, none.
Right.
Our guest for today would be the one and the only Chris Carbert. So he's going to be joining us in about 18 minutes or so. He wanted to talk about Alberta independence.
Yep.
So we put a post up on Facebook, and he commented on it, and he's like, if there's anything I can do to help get Alberta out of Canada, let me know. So I reached out and said, hey, well, you want to chat? Happy to chat about that subject. So he said, yeah. So he set himself up yesterday with his laptop, and he'll be joining us in a little bit.
Great.
It'd be nice to have him on the show in the flesh.
Yes,
we had him on once audio. He called in through the phone system at the detention center, and we spoke there. But now he's going to join us here. Yeah,
and good to hear his 2 cents. It's always good to hear Albertans' 2 cents on what their feelings are for Alberta's future.
Yep. If you didn't catch the Lisa Robinson episode on Alberta self-determination, go ahead. It's on all platforms. And no matter what platform you're on right now, if you could do us a favor and give us a follow or subscribe on YouTube, give us a like every once in a while there, that would be very helpful. Do we have a button for that?
I was literally just about to put it. So there we go. There's our subscribe.
Yeah. So there we go. Give us a subscribe, because we want to reach people who are not on the alt platforms right now. So if you can go ahead and give us a follow there, a subscribe there, and a like there, that will help YouTube push us more on YouTube to reach the people who are not on the alt platforms like you probably are.
Yep. And if you want to support us, you can also become a member.
You like that, huh?
Yeah.
Little overlays.
Yeah, they're cool. Jason made them.
I did. I did. This Friday, and we're going to get into why Breton is so awesome. This Friday, there's a APP meeting here in Breton at the community center. Doors open at 6 p.m. And it's going to be the wonderful Michael Wagner, Dr. Wagner, who's going to be the speaker. I'll be there in the audience, hanging out, checking it out, because he's a good friend. And he's also going to come by the studio before this event to record his self-determination video.
Great.
That takes us up to, I think, 24.
Nearly halfway.
Yep. And then halfway is on Saturday. So bright and early on Saturday, Dr. Modry from the APP itself is going to be here. So he'll be guest number 25.
Wonderful. So
we're really collecting them, like hockey cards, I say. I'm just collecting all of these and trying to get the full set. So we're halfway through recording the Alberta Self-Determination series, and we just released episode 7. So expect them to come out frequently as we're starting to catch up. But I hope you're enjoying that series. Of course, Jeff Evely, he was on InfoWars yesterday. So he's getting international reach now for his thing. And I noticed that when I was checking the spelling of Houston, when I typed in Tim Houston into Bing, you get to see Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff is there under the news section because, he went and got a little bit of attention around that. So great job, Jeff. Pressure from the U.S. I bet you more people have now seen his video than live in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
The actual views, it surpassed 5 million. So more people likely saw the video of him getting a fine than live in Nova Scotia. So hopefully this is adding the pressure, and it could be why Tim changed his tone.
Changing narrative.
Yeah.
Well, here, I just want to throw up a funny comment here from Prairie. More people have gotten lost berry picking out in the woods.
Prairie, you're absolutely correct. And as Peter said, more people die by coyote than fire. Maybe it's just one, but that still would be...
It's still more than fire.
It's more than 0. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's some of the wildfire causes for several years here, almost a couple decades. And as you can see, Nikes and hikers are not on the list. Trains even started 6 fires. So maybe they're going to stop trains from traveling. But the highest is arson. That's absolutely one of the things. I would like to see them do more around that. Trail cams or something like that, or protecting the forest from arson. Sometimes they have to start fires to clear things, but that wouldn't be arson. That would be a controlled burn or on purpose. And sometimes those get out of control.
Because yes, fire is a serious thing. It doesn't discriminate. It will just go right through. So we're not poo-pooing the whole we shouldn't be conscious of forest fires.
Oh, for sure.
It's their reasoning behind stopping people walking in the woods.
Yeah. And then here's where I wanted to bring it to your attention. So Breton, I love our community. Absolutely love our community. So just like we've seen in the past, whenever there's an event that has conversations about independence or sovereignty or statehood or any type of change, there's a small little group and they're loud. And this happens all over the place. It's usually a small group that's causing problems, like getting comedians canceled from a venue or something like that. They'll call and threaten the theater. And that happened to us in Drumheller when we wanted to see the cats. Danger Cats, yeah. So I went and spoke to the owner of that theater when that happened. And she said, yeah, they threatened to smash our windows in. I'm like, well, then let them and have the police deal with it, because you can't just kowtow to these threats. But she did. Now the sovereignty issue, even APP has had this happen. Venues had to be changed a day or two before. And one event I was speaking at, that happened in Stony Plain, Spruce Grove area, when the Pioneer Museum cancels an event at their venue. Well, they tried again here in Breton for the Friday event. And I'll just quickly read to you, for those that are listening on the podcast version of this, what Breton's response to this was. Because we're a village. We're a very small community. And we do have a, village hall, town hall, whatever they call them. We have one. So here's what was in our local paper. To the editor. Recently, the Breton Community Center received a booking request from the Alberta Prosperity Project, APP. The intention of this booking is to host a town hall type meeting. The objective of this meeting is to have open discussions regarding Alberta sovereignty and the province's future. This description is taken from the event flyer. This is an initiative of the Alberta Prosperity Project, not the Village of Breton, nor does it reflect the views of the Village Council and administration. The village is a neutral entity. We, as a municipality, are not supporting or denouncing this organization or its views. What the village is supporting is freedom of speech and expression. Our community center is an inclusive facility that welcomes all. Any legal and moral event is welcome at our community center. At this point, you may be saying, well, great for you. Did you need to publish this in the newspaper? Sadly, yes, we did. Once this event was advertised by the hosting group, the village received correspondence from individuals attempting to pressure us to cancel this booking, which I am sure at this point you all know we are not going to do. What further prompted this submission to the newspaper was that we were contacted from other facilities that rented space to the Alberta Prosperity Project for the same type of meeting. They also have received the same correspondence attempting to influence them to cancel their bookings for the APP. So, to summarize all of that, the Village of Breton will not be canceling the Alberta Prosperity Project's booking, nor will we succumb to the influence of other groups that may disagree with future renters' events. We do, however, welcome those opposing groups to rent the Breton Community Center if they decide to host an event to promote their views and initiatives as well. Sincerely, Village of Breton Council Administration. Folks, that's how you handle that.
Exactly. In print.
In print, yeah. I went for breakfast with some community members. Took Jacob because JJ was sick, and one of the first things, we have this little paper,
the booster,
the booster, and it's out. And first thing was, I actually was meeting with the organizer for that event, and she said, "Look at what happened in the paper." And letter to editor, and I'm like, "Oh, that's great. That's how every community should respond." And what I loved that made me chuckle was the last line, like, "And if you want to rent our center,
yeah, exactly, we also don't discriminate, so feel free if you have opposing views."
Yeah. So congratulations to the village of Breton, our hometown. You'll see us at church there. We buy our milk and bread there, as you heard, and we'll be there. I'll be there. I'm not sure if you can make it, but I'll be there Friday night with Michael Wagner and the rest of the crew.
Great.
Awesome. So I love our community.
Mhm.
So if you're in Ontario looking for a place to go, Brazeau County may be a place for you. Yeah, we like it.
Yeah, we do. And yes, from Donna here. Well, just pop it up on the screen. Yeah, good for Breton. Way to go.
That's awesome. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it a lot. And we may have an announcement soon, you and I, about community involvement and
Mhm.
helping our neighbors. And we're just kind of waiting on some final paperwork to
Yeah.
go ahead and break that to you. But it's happening. It's going to happen. I'm
Yeah.
excited about that.
Yeah, I am too. I've been getting my paperwork in order too. So
Yeah, a little tip or hint is we have to get a criminal record search done.
yeah.
That's one of the requirements, and we have to talk to our neighbors,
Mhm.
and we've already got that support. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, but I think it's good, and it's just adding more to the community because I really enjoy living here.
yeah,
I really enjoy living here. I like being around the people, and I want to contribute to give us all a better way of life.
yeah, and I hope other municipalities follow the lead of Breton. I'm sure some
Mhm.
have because not all events get canceled. But to any venue owner, municipality, take that. It's all about having conversations. There's no hate going on, and the opposing side, they're being a little bit ridiculous because it's a democratic process.
Mhm.
It's not like a town hall meeting will change into a coup, which will remove government by force. It's not how the process works. It never has. It's about spreading the truth and the information and answering questions and people making up their own mind. So when you participate in this cancel culture type of thing, you are the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not me, it's you.
Yeah, and we got some tips, haven't confirmed,
Mhm.
but got some tips that this might be the Forever Canada group that's doing their current petition signing. And they're the ones that are also renting facilities and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And you don't see APP calling up facilities and venues and saying,
Right.
stop the conversation, because everybody should go have a chance to make up their mind on what they want to do. But that Forever Canada group, we've gotten some tips from some people that had their events canceled,
Mhm.
followed up and learned who called. So we don't know if they're the ones that contacted Breton or not. It could have just been somebody that didn't like the idea of having these conversations. But the one side likes to use that tool,
Mhm.
while the other side, and we talked about this with Lisa Robinson, conservatives don't play those games. Maybe it's time that we start to fight back, not like that,
Mhm.
because I would consider that as punching down. But I love how Breton, whether they take a position or not, said, no, we're not canceling any event. If you don't like what they have to say, rent our facility.
Yeah, and I found it. I think it's indicative of the fact that they had to. They felt the need to publish something, which means it was more than just one or two people making a call or dropping into the village office. It was enough to prompt them to put something in print. Very well written, I thought, and yeah, to say like enough. No, we're doing this. Have a great day, and feel free. Yeah, we'll rent our facility if you have an opposing opinion. Go ahead.
Now, you didn't sit on your hands when you saw this. You actually made a phone call.
Yeah, you were. I was scrolling online and I saw your post. I was like, oh, what's that, Breton? What's going on? And I read it. I was like, well done. And I called them, called the office to say, thank you very much. And it's irrelevant of what I'm in support of or not in support of. I appreciate the fact that, especially after seeing other places having to take a knee or retract, and the fact that they went ahead and no, we're doing this like enough. I think, and that's why I was really impressed, and so I felt the need to call and say, good job, well done.
How did that call go? Because it actually started off a certain way and then got different.
Yeah, bless her. The woman who answered the phone was a little bit apprehensive because I says, hello, I'm Paul Levine, I'm a resident, and I saw the article regarding the APP event and you guys standing firm. And she's like, yes. I was like, I just want to say thank you. Good job. It was like, oh, because I guess at the end they must have received enough calls to say that they're now a little bit apprehensive if someone's calling regarding the subject matter. But no, I called to say thank you and good job and keep it up. I appreciate the stance they took.
I would encourage that as well. If your town, municipality, the venue does something good, they reach out to the community and say, hey, look, we took this position. We're trying to be fair to everybody. We're being neutral. We are representing the residents, and everybody's voice is welcome. Give them a thank you. And as you heard there, they don't normally get those. Sometimes all they hear is the complainers. Sometimes that's what overwhelms the office. So sometimes it would be nice if we just call them up and say, hey, thanks for what you're doing and keep it up, and love your town and your village or your city.
Yeah, show appreciation.
Yeah, and then come visit. So if you're within the drive, visit us on Friday. Let's fill up that community center and show the APP a little bit of support and a bit of a thanks, and the village of Breton. Come and have some dinner or lunch here and join us.
Yeah, it's a great space. Like the community center is a giant space. It's not like some small venue. It's pretty substantial because we also host lots of dinners throughout the year that the other neighboring towns come to, or villages come to. It's a great space. Again, it's also used for the FCSS community events that the kids do. No, we're really fortunate the facilities and resources we have in Breton. I'm really impressed with it.
Yeah, and we're a town of about 600 or so. We're not very large, but
pretty wee. Yeah,
but here we are. And freedomcalendar.net. So Max, our friend Max, he'll be there with his camera. I think he's recording it and then replaying it. And if that's the case, I'll also replay it on our platform. So if you can't make it, we will replay the Dr. Wagner speech and conversation. The question period is what a lot of people come for. But if you can come in person, come say hi. We'd really like to see you.
Yeah,
but sure. You can't make it.
No, I'm going to be kid watching and getting stuff done. It's always stuff to get done. Always stuff to get done around here.
No, that's very true. And so, you'll just have Jay.
Yeah.
No Paula and Jay.
Exactly.
All right. So what else you got on your mind? We got a few more minutes before our guest joins us.
Don't know. I'm just going to quickly go through some of our chats so far. So, people they're rolling their eyes. Oh, here we go. So regarding Chris, I'll just pop it up. Good morning from Fort St. John, BC. Looking forward to the morning show and the return of Chris Carbert speaking out. Well, he's going to be sharing his views on, it says, the Alberta sovereignty subject. So looking forward to that again. Always good to hear what Albertans have to say and different thought processes behind their final decision.
Yep.
If they have a final decision, because some people are still deciding what direction would be best for them and the province.
And yes, and people should have their views and be comfortable enough to share it. They shouldn't feel like this is a divisive issue, and it's a dangerous issue. Even Danielle Smith herself came out and said, look, these are not traitors. These are people that love Alberta. We treat everybody well, and this is a conversation worth having. It's what kind of spurred us on to do our Alberta Self-Determination series, was we wanted to get the 50 different pieces of the puzzle and put it together so people can take a broader view of it. And this Thomas guy who runs the Forever Canada event, when his petition was approved and announced and the press release went out, I contacted him the same day. He said, hey, you want to be on the show? We'll do an interview. And he said, well, let me check. I'll get back to you by the end of the day. And then I got this all in DMs. And I asked, well, are you in Edmonton, Calgary, Red Deer? Like, where are you? Because we were scheduling interviews in those three areas. And he responds with Edmonton. I said, okay, great. Well, here are the 2 Edmonton dates that we were thinking about. And if that doesn't work for you, I can come record a private one with you. In other words, we can work with your schedule. Yeah. And then he didn't respond anymore. No more responses out of him. Not one. No, I'm a journalist. I'm not picking a side on this issue right now. I am collecting the conversation and sharing the conversation. No matter who wants to come on, we'll do it. But he didn't. So I reached out a couple more times saying, hey, I can bring my stuff to you. No matter where you are, no matter what time, I can come and collect it from you. But no. And he hasn't watched any of our episodes because I don't take a position. I have my guests speak and let them talk. It's more of a interview than it is a conversation. But 50 different conversations what I'm trying to have here. So if this changes, that'll be great. And I just saw our green room light up.
Oh, there we go.
So without further ado, somebody looks like they're in the mountains. Let's go ahead and bring them on.
Yeah.
Good
Hi,
morning,
guys.
Chris. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. You're in the mountains.
I wish I was, but we'll pretend I am.
Okay, that works for us. Totally pretend that. Which picture is that? Is that the Alberta side? Is that just a random picture?
This is the Beaver Mines area. This is where Kyler and I went fishing
Okay.
on
Nice.
Sunday. So I just used one of the pictures for the background for my screen background from on Sunday.
Well, there's a big, beautiful blue Alberta sky right there. And how was your fishing trip? Did you catch anything?
You know what? We didn't even get a bite, but it was still wonderful. I was in
I'm
the
sure you loved
mountains.
every minute.
Yeah, and I was in the mountains, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, and I saw some pictures of berries. So you guys were gathering some berries as well?
Yeah, I've never seen so many berries in the mountains, to be honest. I think I've seen more berries in one day this year than I have my entire life. And I've spent a lot of time in the mountains.
Well, I got to ask, so were you prepared for the forest fires that might spontaneously erupt around you, like in Nova Scotia?
I don't even know what to say about that.
It's getting ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it's again, I don't even know what to say. It just seems that it falls in line with what's going on in our world today.
Completely true.
Yeah.
And some people are saying it feels like COVID all over again, where they're just coming up with the excuses to control people, but it doesn't feel like it's well thought out this time. And my comment to that was, well, Hollywood sequels are usually not as good as the original. But it feels that way, doesn't it?
Very true. Yeah. I mean, I haven't paid a lot of attention to it. Obviously, I know what's going on. I don't know what kind of scare tactics other than the $25,000 fine they're using. COVID was nonstop scare tactics. Pounding us with fear of numbers and everything else. So I don't know what's exactly they're doing over there right now, but I know that what they are doing is a little ridiculous.
Yeah, but I think people are wiser this time around because now they're changing their description of why they're doing this. First, it was just you will start the fire, and then another province is saying we're doing it so that in case you're injured, we can't come get you. And now Nova Scotia changed theirs to, well, we don't want you to die in a fire. And we had a firefighter, 29-year veteran from Nova Scotia. He was a conservation officer, so his whole career is a veteran from it. There's been no deaths in Nova Scotia from forest fires, in the history of Nova Scotia. So this is really a stretch for Nova Scotia at this stage to try and protect people from something that's never happened.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, A, you can smell it. B, you could probably see it. I don't know, unless you've started it yourself right around you in a circle or something. I don't know how you're going to get caught in it. I mean, accidents happen, but again, I think it's just an overstretch. It's another way of controlling people. Just my opinion.
Yep. And another thing we highlighted with Peter was here in Alberta, we have fire bans, and they do as well. Mm-hmm. And these are driven by data. So depending on how dry an area is, there's data that comes out every day, and that affects the fire ban area. It will grow or shrink as needed. And that is a precautionary way to make sure that we don't accidentally start a campfire into a forest fire. And they still have that, but that's being completely ignored. They went Nova Scotia wide with this ban. So hopefully people are wise enough and are pushing back hard enough that the government overreach can start pulling back at this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there is one guy that I've noticed that went and did a video just outside of I don't know if it was an RCMP shop or a conservation shop, where he went and told them he was going to go into the woods and wanted them to give him a $25,000 fine. He's just obviously out there to make a point. And I think he's kind of gaining quite a bit of ground with this little experiment that he's doing and showing people how ridiculous this is.
Yeah, that's Jeff Evely, and he was on our show on Tuesday. We also had one of his lawyers from the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms come on, so Marty Moore, and along with the Peter McIsaac, the veteran firefighter from Nova Scotia. So the three of them were on the show on Tuesday, and we covered that. But he was on InfoWars yesterday, and he was on press all over the world. So what I think Jeff is doing there is the right thing, because he's testing this in the court of law. He was not violent. He didn't force them to come find him. He went and made an appointment to get a ticket, because he tried to fight this in 2023 when they did a similar thing, but it got thrown out of court because he didn't have a financial penalty. Well, now he has a financial penalty. So this is a way to test it. And Tim Houston bragged yesterday they've already given out 12 of these $25,000 fines, which is actually $28,000 when you do the victim's surcharge and taxes. But yeah, he was bragging about that. So you were gonna say?
Yeah. So there's a interesting comment here we have in our locals chat. It's all about control. They're tweaking the dial to know where the breaking point is for the population.
100% correct. 100% correct. Now here in Alberta, Chris, what we did is I posted something and you made a comment on Facebook, and you said, if there's anything I can do to help Alberta leave Canada, let me know. So I reached out to you because I'm collecting people's opinions on Alberta self-determination, which means Alberta should be in control of its future, whatever that might look like. So you have a view of that, and you were sharing that on Facebook. And so here we are. We have you on the show for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's time for Alberta to take a serious look at leaving. I think we've had enough of Ottawa controlling what we do, controlling everything, really, holding us down from being really a superpower. The West, in the West, we are under, what's the word? We're underrepresented. There it is. In the Senate, same with the House of Commons. We have no say in our elections. For me, I've just had enough. It's been my entire life. I don't ever remember it being any different. And I don't like the new Canada that we're in. I'm a proud Canadian, but I'm a proud old Canada, not this new Canada.
That's a very common comment from a lot of people. That's not the Canada they grew up in, they remember, they fell in love with, and don't think they can get back to a Canada, especially when they elect a Mark Carney, who wrote a book, Values, which basically should be called The Idiot's Guide to Destroying Alberta, because everything he puts in there is against what Alberta does to prosper and grow. So when Canada puts that type of leader in, and you're right, we're very underrepresented here in Alberta. The election's over by the time it hits Thunder Bay. We really have no say. So the East picks who the leader is, and they pick somebody who basically wants to destroy Alberta. So it's a nice time to reconsider whether or not we stay here or not.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you have some comments?
Yeah, we've just got some nice comments here, so let's pop them up on the screen for you, Chris. Hi, Chris. Nice to see you.
Thanks, Debbie.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, and then good morning, Chris. Great to see you. And then a comment here from Mary Wall. Good morning, Chris. Love Lynx Creek. ATV riding is not the same anymore. Rachel Notley turned it into bicycles and dog walkers.
It's Lynx Creek. That's actually where I spent most of my time camping in my 20s and later on in my later 30s after I came back from BC. I absolutely love that area. I know it like the back of my hand. So yes, they have definitely ruined it.
Yeah, so we got to regain some of our sovereignty here. So you're for the independence of Alberta, which would mean our own nation. So we're not joining the U.S. or another one. We're not just rejigging the relationship with Canada. Just be standing on our own 2 feet. That's where you'd like to see us head?
That's exactly where I think we need to go. I think that we would work with the U.S., but I don't want to be part of the U.S. I just think that they've got their own problems that are very similar to ours, and we don't need their problems. I think that we need to completely get rid of everything Canada, really, like the conservative provincial government that we have right now, and then the NDP, they need to go. They don't need to come with us. I think we need to completely revamp everything. Our judicial system, obviously. I think we need to look at everything, education, our policing. I just think that there's a lot that we need to do, and I think there's a lot of research that needs to be done, and yeah, I just think it's time for some change.
Yeah, you sound a lot like Cameron Davies, who is the leader of the Republican Party of Alberta. You might want to check him out and check his party out, because that's the direction he's headed as well. It's become a republic, stand on our own 2 feet, don't bring the current government with us, start afresh, have new elections, bring some new people forward and new parties forward on a national level, like Republican, Democrat type of thing. Have you heard of them, and what do you think about that?
I have heard of them. However, I do not know a whole lot. To be honest with you, I haven't had a lot of time to do a whole lot of research yet on everything, on the different parties and so on and so forth. I'm still just trying to get myself together. Eventually, I would like to educate myself better, because I would like to know what I'm talking about, and I would like to know that what I'm spouting is educated and it's truth.
And I know you said you don't have a lot of time, but are you at least surprised at the amount of information that is out there to go through? Like, it's not just a whimsical idea that a lot of people that is being presented about Alberta separating or having more control over their future and sovereignty. But are you over at least impressed with the amount of information that's out there to go through and the options available when it comes to pursuing this endeavor for Alberta?
Yeah, I mean, and it looks as though, like, I've read a bit about some of the stuff that the APP has been putting forward, and they obviously have done some research and thought this through, and a lot of what they're saying makes sense to me. I mean, there's so much information, but I have not had the time really to, as I said, to go through it. My days have been crazy. My phone never stops. If I go on Facebook, it doesn't stop. So my time right now really has been put to thanking people and responding on Facebook when I go on there and stuff. And eventually, I know everything's going to level out, and I'll have the time to spend, looking into all these matters. So, but when that time is, I'm not too sure.
No, and you mentioned a good group there, the APPs, Alberta Prosperity Project. They're getting close to 300,000 people that are willing to sign their petition, and they only need 177,000, so that's good. And the APP has been an education organization. They're nonpartisan, non-biased. I know a lot of people don't see it that way, but it's true. They're there for education. So they've been putting on some town halls. We got one here in Breton tomorrow, and they're providing answers to people's questions just like that. So, yeah, when you do have a moment or two, check out their website. I host a lot of their videos, and we have a series where we're having these conversations as well. But it's still a lot. It's still a lot to take in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a comment here. Oh, sorry, Chris. The comment here. The biggest thing I would love for Alberta to get rid is the threat of the equity tax on our properties.
Yeah, that's a nasty one. I'm not sure if you heard about that one, Chris, but there's a threat from Ottawa that if you're a homeowner or property owner, you own your property, the increase in the equity itself will now be taxed. So even though you don't sell your property and realize that money, they want to tax that. And if you've been following the WEF, you'll own nothing and be happy. I was always wondering, how are they going to go after the current property owners, because they already own it? But that's how. So if your property is worth 1 million, it goes up to 1.2. The 200,000 will become taxable, which is going to force you to sell or get a mortgage when you didn't have one. So that's a big concern for a lot of Albertans.
Yeah, that's crazy, but it doesn't surprise me. I mean, another tax. We are probably I don't know. This is that it's a stat, but I would imagine we're one of the most taxed nations in the world, and they seem to find any reason to put a tax somewhere. So, I mean, I heard something now, whether this is true, I just read a blurb about it, something about some land in Abbotsford too, that the government has just given back to Indigenous groups that have houses on it, that people have bought that land. So it seems like that's just another way that they're going to try and get this land.
Yeah, and it's probably under UNDRIP, which is a UN initiative to take the
Yep, it
land
is.
away from nations and give it to what they call indigenous people. We're careful with that term because indigenous doesn't mean original. To the UN, indigenous means the last before colonization. But native people, First Nations, they conquered their land too. There were
Mhm.
tribes and other groups before them that lost in the wars and the slaughters and other things. So the UN is cherry picking who they think owns the land, and they're basically trying around the world. It's not even just Canada. This is around the world. They're doing this. The last group prior to colonization is the one that I think they're picking to be what they call the indigenous or original people. So you can see it's a scam. It's global. It's happened in Australia, all over the place.
I just want to share this here. There's a funny series of chats that just came in. So first of all, Squirrel Nazi are here on Twitter. Taxing your thoughts incoming soon.
Uh-huh.
And then
Criminalizing. That was
yeah.
Bill 63.
And then 100% the most taxed nation. Then we've got phantom tax imposed by phantom de facto government. And then this one here. Let's pre-tax your tax on your tax.
It's such a vote.
Yeah, it's not the truth.
Yeah. David Parker has this one part that he puts into his speeches that the slaves of Egypt, the ones that built the pyramid, they were only taxed, I think, 20%, and we are in the 50% range. And another thing to remember is 1776 was kicked off with a 2% tax on tea. So Canada, like that boiling frog thing, which, by the way, has been debunked. But anyways, everybody understands it. Slowly, they kept increasing it all the way to darn near 50% now in taxes.
Yeah, I mean that's another reason I think Alberta needs to go too. Is because of the taxes, and there's no doubt that the taxes will be lower here. We just have to make sure that all of our health care and everything else that people have concerns about we have to think it through and make sure that it's put into place properly. But yeah, the taxes I think are a big thing for Alberta leaving, and I think that if whatever groups it is, the APP, the Republican Party, if they show people, how really they'll save money and that the healthcare will be good and everything, I think that we'll have a strong push.
Yeah, and the piece of the rebuild, I don't want to call it reset, the rebuild that I like is justice, okay? Because we got to change the police. They got to be provincial or state or nation, whatever we have here. But we got to stop being controlled by Ottawa, thousands of kilometers away. They're making decisions. They're writing warrants. They're picking up Tamara Leach, dragging her across the country for mischief. And it's ridiculous. And I think justice reform is where I would love to spend some more time to see where we go in this rebuild of Alberta.
Yeah, obviously that's something that would be close to my heart too. After what I've been through for the last 3.5 years, our policing definitely needs to change. There's a lot more corruption, I believe, in our policing than I ever wanted to believe. I mean, we all know that there's going to be things here and there, no matter what country you're in, but I think it's a lot deeper than people realize in Canada. So it would be something that we definitely would need to work on here too, is the judicial system, and our judges, our crown prosecutors, our lawyers, everything. I think that there needs to be a lot of reform in that system.
I like that idea a lot because, we've always accepted a couple bad apples. Humans are humans. They'll take a little bit of a bribe and do something. That's always not been accepted, but understood. But what we're talking about here is something a little bit more top down, higher level, influenced by politicians. It's pretty nasty. And with the U.S., they elect their sheriffs, so they're accountable to the people. They elect their judges, so they're accountable to the people. And there's recall and other types of transparency and accountability that's in place. I think a lot of those shifts would be very beneficial. And there's a reason why many states do that. It's because out of control people. And sometimes it gets top heavy. And if you want to go up that ladder, you're going to have to play the game that they've all established. We've seen this across the table, and even intelligence. So CSIS on that level. Like, who do they work for? Do they work for the people? Do they work for the government in power? Do they work for international groups? It's tough to say. So I'd love to see Alberta take the lead on redefining what justice looks like. And I absolutely think there's a lot of lessons learned in Alberta that can help us do that next time around.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just a lot of things that need to be changed. I mean, I don't even know what to say about all of it anymore. It's
No, it works, man. That works. And so you're still shifting through a bunch of things and getting your life back, getting your time back, and you'll be sitting down and catching up on some of this Alberta self-determination thing. If the vote, I think I know the answer to this, if the vote happens in September or in the spring of 2026, you're going to be a yay?
Oh, yeah. I'm a definite yay.
Yeah, I'm sure if there's a checkbox that says, heck yeah, let's do it, you would be checking that one off too. But you don't want to be the 51st state. So there's about 20% of Alberta that likes that idea. Let's just go to a superpower. Let's be part of a superpower. And you kind of highlighted a little bit there that they have their own problems too. I am in agreement with that one. I don't think you should get divorced and then remarried right away. Don't rebound. Take some time, get on your own. Whether it's a nation or a business or something else, sometimes you need to take time to be on your own. And I like that path forward. And you think we'll be far more prosperous that way?
Yeah, and I mean, why can't we be a superpower? And what do we mean by a superpower? Are we talking military-wise? I think that if Alberta separates from Canada, I believe that we would work out a deal with the US right away, and that we would be working hand in hand. And we would be a superpower with them, just not being part of them.
Yeah, those conversations have happened. So the APP, Jeff Rath, Dr. Modry, and others have already gone to the U.S., spoke to the State Department. They've made this public information now. And Marco Rubio has given the thumbs up that if Alberta votes for secession from Canada, so to leave Canada, that they'll recognize us as a sovereign nation. Now, the good news about that is we don't have to go, like technically, legally, international law, we don't have to go through Ottawa and get permission from the other provinces to be a nation on our own. We actually just need to declare it, the Declaration of Independence, and be recognized. The U.S. has already said they'll recognize that. So we do have a fast track to get this done. If Ottawa wants to play games, make it difficult, not sit at the table, there's other ways to get this done.
Yeah, that is the big concern, right? Because like you educated me on this when we had dinner the other day, because I was of the opinion that there was a process and that the other provinces had to have a vote. So I mean, whether or not that'll work, I'm not too sure. I think that we need to put a move on this. I think that whether you like the Trump government or not, I think they would help us make sure that we are successful leaving, and I think that they would get involved in any conflict that they not a physical conflict, but any conflict that we have with Canada itself.
No, 100%. And the media is kind of responsible for misinforming people on this one, saying things like, in order to change the Constitution, you need to have a unanimous vote in the House, Senate, amongst the provinces. And that is the process that I call with consent. So with consent of Canada. The second process is without consent of Canada. And I had breakfast yesterday with some people, and one of the questions at the table was, well, we don't know what to do. Like, how do you build a country? I'm like, are you kidding? For thousands of years, every single country had to go through this process, especially if they were a republic, because a republic is when the people build the country, as opposed to a monarchy or some other system like a dictatorship or communism, where it's run by a small group. Under a republic, it's always brought to the people. They vote, they say yay or nay, they bring it forward. So one of the first things is a constitution. Usually a Bill of Rights follows that pretty quickly. Electing the new government will follow that as well. So there's several examples of countries declaring independence separate from whatever nation was associated to them before and building a country. So
plus we have ChatGPT now.
ChatGPT, so we got AI to help us too. But one of the constitutions out there I want people to take a look at is the Alaska Constitution. So every American state has their own constitution, plus there's a constitution to the U.S. as well. But every state has their own. And the Alaska one is a really good one because that's a resource-rich one. It is prosperous for the people, all people. It doesn't segregate one group to another, like Indigenous to, residents or anything like that. I think that process is already started through the APP. There's some lawyers looking at draft constitutions and Bill of Rights. And I believe, Chris, if you have some time and you take a look at it, you'd be pretty impressed with the work that's already been put in place.
Yeah, I think that's the only way that it's going to work is if we do have the smart people behind the scenes doing this kind of stuff, so that you can present Albertans with it. Because I think just like my mom, I talked to my mom while I was in Drumheller, and I told her it's time for us to leave, and like most baby boomers, she loves Canada, and she's said no, there's no way I want to leave Canada. She did attend an APP event here in Lethbridge, and I called her right after, and she said to me, "You're right, we need to go." So I think if people just are educated on how much better it actually will be, and because people have their concerns about the healthcare and whatever else their concerns are, right? So I think if we have all of that kind of stuff in order, there's a lot better chance that Alberta will be Alberta the nation.
I love your mom a lot.
Yeah.
I love her a lot. She always takes the let's not change approach until she spends some time learning, and she's open to that. And I'm not surprised that she said to you this time around, Chris, yeah, you're right. Because she probably heard about the taxes, the prosperity. And if you are looking at this correctly, you're looking at your grandchildren's future, not necessarily yours or your children, but your grandchildren's future and what it's going to look like under the current regime that we're in, the direction we're going, and where Alberta could be. We could be the 97th richest nation in the entire world. We'd be up there with the oil-rich countries in the world. And yeah, we are populous enough to do it. There's several countries that would be smaller than us in population and in area. So it's time. I think it's time for Alberta to grow up and do its own thing.
Yeah, that we have a comment here that from our locals, from Becky. It's ridiculous to pay taxes to the government so they can pay it back to us, the carbon tax to get a rebate, CPP to get CPP, etc. I think that's a big thing. And for your mom, Chris, to then he's realized that once she got information, she's like, oh, that explains a few things. And that's the key thing about what I like about this movement. There's a lot of information out there that's being presented to help reassure people when they have those questions like, what about my Canadian pension? What about this? What about that? Go to these meetings, get that information so you truly can get an informed decision based on information, but not based on fear.
100%. And one of the biggest stats that people don't realize is for every dollar that leaves Alberta, 85 cents of that does not come back in services to Alberta. It goes to other provinces and other things. So one question that came up in a town hall is, can Alberta afford to be its own government? Yes. Yes, it can. Well, Chris, thank you very much for your time. If you have a last message for Albertans, we got to get running here.
Yeah, no, thanks, guys. It's my first podcast in person, so thanks for letting me get my first podcast jitters out. I enjoyed it, and I look forward to getting educated and maybe being able to say something a little more educated next time.
You are perfect. You're absolutely perfect, Chris. We'll have you back again whenever you like. There's a lot of things we can get into, but thank you for your time on Alberta Self-Determination, and you take care and give your mom a big hug for us, okay?
Have a fantastic day, Chris.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, brother. Bye. Well, that was special. That was fun. Yeah, I love that.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
But just a quick line here. The boomers are holding on to the fantasy of old Canada that doesn't exist anymore. That's a big realization a lot of people are coming to.
Absolutely. But we got to go.
Yep.
Well, thank you, everybody. Go ahead, babe.
All right. Everyone have a fantastic day. Stay, enjoy whatever summer you've got. But we'll see you tomorrow. But have a good day for me.
Thank you for joining us today. Thanks for hanging out with Chris as well, getting those first podcast jitters out. He's a great guest. He's a great man. And I'm looking for a great future. God bless.